So actually we are discussing about the data loader, right? So main thing is data loader settings. So we have to decide so in which environment we are loading the data. So if it is production login or Salesforce.com, sandbox, test or Salesforce.com like that. That is in the default passage is 200 and the maximum passage is 10,000. And overall with the data loader we can process around 5 million records, right? If we enable bulk API, so hard delete option will be enabled. Apart from that, batch size, default batch size will become 2000.
Okay.
Those things. If you want to insert null values option should be checked.
So, but if
And yeah,
basically, like when we select a bulk, use bulk API, so
yeah,
we can also change the batch size value, right?
yeah, we can change the batch size also. Yes,
Okay.
you can change. So, but the default is whenever you enable default is 2000.
Okay.
So next one, time zone. So whenever we install this data loader, so it take our system time zone. I mean our local system time.
Okay.
So it should be matched with that Salesforce organization time zone. So that we won't see some differences. So after that the proxy settings and all those things are common, right? So after that we perform the export operation. Export means it export all the records which are there in that employee object. So we exported for that employee object. So it exported all the records available in that employee object.
Yeah.
Export all means so it export all the records and which are there in recycle bin for that employee.
Yeah.
Those records also it will fetch.
Yep.
So after that we perform the insert operation. For insert operation, so no need to supply ID. So after inserting Salesforce will generate IDs. So we inserted few records. After that we updated few records. For update, ID should be mandatory. ID should be mandatory, and whatever the fields you want to update, those things we have to map.
Okay.
So after that, we are discussing about upset operation. So upset means it is a combination of insert and update. So if the records based on one column, we upset based on a certain column.
Yeah.
Okay. So by default it take ID. Based on the ID we can upset the records. So if the ID is already present in database, it will update. If it is not, so that the ID we did not mention. If we do not mention, then it will create that. It will insert the records like that. We did that operation. Right after that, other than ID, if you want to go based on some other columns, suppose if you have some external one table in external database, and you want to compare that column with the Salesforce, so we cannot compare with the record ID. So that's why we have to take certain column. So to check for that duplicates and for the comparison purpose, we have to take one column. Suppose in the external table they maintain one of the column as primary key, unique and not null like that they maintain. So same field may use in Salesforce also. So that one we have to enable the external ID. If you want to compare like that with external database tables, we have to enable external ID. So that external ID we can enable only for certain data types. That is for number, text, and email. Only for those data types we can enable that external ID. So maximum per object we can enable only three external IDs. Right? All these are the limits. So I think yesterday we enabled external ID for one of the column.
Yeah.
So we enabled external ID for that email. So for email data type, we are able to see that external ID option.
Yeah.
So we enabled that one.
Yeah.
Enabled that one. So after that, so for this email, so see what values are there for that email. So for email there are no values actually, right? So what I will do is I will export all the records. After that I will update that email ID for all the records.
Okay.
So for that export, so yeah, employee maybe session out. So I selected employee browse. So here I'm doing export operation. Export version 1 dot CSV. Saving that next. So ID email is not there, so I want to give some value. Suppose just so I'm not getting this sheet. Um, so do you have any idea? So here only is it possible to increment in Excel sheet?
Only in that number.
Yes.
Uh, I mean, basically that sequence, run a sequence. So maybe if you can double click, or you can do a formula, but here like it's only a small number, so we can do in this way.
Yeah, we can. This time. But you deal with Excel, right? Most of the times.
Yeah, I mean, if you have like more records, then you can just give a test and you can append the remaining cells.
Yeah.
Or if you can just double click, then automatically the fill will numbers will fill automatically with incremental one.
Hmm. But it will increment at end, right?
Yeah, I mean it will increment at the end, but I was thinking whether, I mean, I'm not sure whether it will increment really or not here in this case.
Okay. Yeah. So after that, I am updating. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So next finish. So I updated all the records. So we have these many records, right?
Yeah.
So these many records we have. So I have around 12 records. So now based on this email column, I want to upsert few records.
Okay.
Okay. So for that, again I will export from the database. Okay. So because whenever we perform upsert operation, so for other fields which we are not matching that ID, right? Those things we have to pop for those records will initiate for insert operation.
Right.
But while initiating that insert operation, all the mandatory fields should be populated.
Mm-hmm.
We do not supply mandatory fields again, right? So for that, I'm exporting one more time all these records. So this time I'm selecting all the fields and click on finish. And now this sheet main thing is email. So yes and all can remove yes.
Mm-hmm.
So this date format I'm changing format cells. Sorry, before changing that, right? So I'm copying 2 records. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
suppose I'm copying 3 records. I'm deleting this ID field also. Okay, so I copied 2 records and for these records, 3 records, 3 to 5 like that. So here I am giving 18, 19, and external ID I am giving 2 times. Okay, I'm giving same external ID for 2 times. See what will happen. Okay.
Okay.
Hello.
Yeah.
I'm giving duplicates. I'm giving duplicates and saving this. So I saved that and after that perform upsert operation. Employee browse that export version 2 next. So here if you see right, since we enabled external ID, so this field also displaying in this.
Mm-hmm.
Like previously it displayed only ID.
Yeah.
I'm selecting email. Now I want to go based on the email. Next. And here auto matching all the columns. Okay. And next. Finish. So 12 records should be updated. 15 errors came. Again the date format. Duplicate external ID. If the external IDs are duplicate, right? So it is throwing duplicate external ID error. So the thing is in interviews they ask, so if we have duplicate external IDs, what will happen? So there are different scenarios, okay? So whenever we perform data loader operation, it divides those records into batches, right? So within the same batch, if it finds duplicate external IDs, that batch will fail. But
Hello? 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 Hello, Sinu? Hello? Hello?